first point I want to share with you this morning is this, that you need to keep an eye on the good stuff. You see, too often, we stay focused on the negative stuff. How many of you have about all the negativity you can possibly choke down? Already in 2009, you're already done. We're not even through the end of February, you've already had your fill for the year. I'm the same exact way, but you know, it's funny. I always hear people say, I don't know why they don't share more good stuff on the news. You ever heard that? You ever find yourself saying that? I don't know why they don't share more good news. You know why they don't? Because you won't watch it. It's so funny, we all say that we want more good news, but so often we surround ourselves with the negativity. Tell me if this routine sounds anywhere similar to something either that you're in or that maybe you know someone who is. You wake up first thing in the morning and you're getting ready for work and you're running around and you're running late and first of all, when you first roll over, you grab the remote control. You grab the remote control and you turn on the morning news. And right there is your morning newscaster sharing all the negative stuff that happened in the world the night before. And you get out of bed and you get yourself ready and you get in your car and you're driving to work and you've got that white knuckle grip on the steering wheel because you're hanging on because you just had a fight with your spouse and you have 2 kids that will not listen to you. And you're driving along and you're just as angry as you can possibly be and you're just going nuts because then some moron cut you off in traffic on the way to work. All that negative stuff was going on. But the reality is it all started when you turned on the news in the morning. Now, research shows that first thing in the morning, your brain is at the alpha level of your subconscious mind. Which means what? It means that whatever you see, hear, or do first thing in the morning will stick with you for the rest of the day in your subconscious mind without you even realizing it. So when we wake up first thing in the morning and turn on the news, we are guaranteeing that we are pre-programming our brain so that somewhere down the day or somewhere throughout the day, that negative stuff is going to come racing back. So the one thing I ensure myself, in fact, throughout this program, I'm going to be sharing some ideas with you, and from time to time, you're going to hear something that is what I call schniglets. Schniglets are those little things that you can grab and run with immediately. They're things that you can put in place in your life. So here is a schniglet for you. Don't wake up first thing in the morning and turn on the television. Don't wake up first thing in the morning and turn on the news. Because this much I promise you, they will not lead the news hour with a small little puppy was found in a basket next to a dumpster more after the break. No, they're going to share with you all the murders, the rapes, the wars, the crimes, all the stuff that went on the day before. So I don't allow myself to start my day with that kind of negative information. So here you've got your day started out, you've struggled throughout the day. Well, it's amazing to me, though, how difficult it is for people to stay focused on the things that are working well in their life. In fact, I'll give you a story. I had an employee who worked for me several years ago who was extremely negative. I mean, this woman was foul. This woman wore her negativity like a badge of honor. You know these people? I mean, she would walk around the office, but she'd pull her shoulders back and say, "You'll never find anybody more negative than me." She was proud of her negativity. She wanted the world, and the woman had a black belt in negativity. I mean, she was really, really good. In fact, she was the kind of person they asked to leave the bar at 5 o'clock so they can start happy hour. You know the kind of person I'm talking about, don't you? Well, this woman comes running into my office one day. She's late for work. She's got this great big stack of school books in her hand for some reason. I have no idea why. But she comes running into my office, and I look down and I notice that she's about 20 minutes late for work. Well, she comes running into my office with this great big stack of school books in her hands, and over in the corner of my office, I had one of those little round conference tables. Well, she comes running into my office with this great big stack of school books in her hands. She slams the school books down on the table. She flops down in the chair and gives me this great big belly sigh and glares at me like I did something to ruin her day. Well, there's something you need to understand about me. I am not the type of person that will typically ask someone that I know, "How you doing?" Quite frankly, in this negative world, well, I'm afraid they'll tell me. You think about it. You walk up to somebody in your office you see every single day. You stick your hand out, you look them dead in the eye and say, "Good morning, how are you?" And they look at you and say, "Oh, you hadn't heard?" I thought everybody had heard by now. And then they proceed to tell you all the crud that's going on in their life. And you're thinking, do you want to know this? I was just trying to get to the coffee pot. And now I have to listen to all this crud. But you know, it wasn't their fault. It was our fault. We asked the wrong question. If you get nothing else from my program this morning, get this. If you don't want to know how somebody's doing, don't ask. Now, my hope is this. My hope is that every one of you sitting in this room has a heart for other people, and that when you know somebody needs your ear, that you will stop your world to do nothing but allow them to share. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the regular day-to-day encounters where people just want to share with you the crud that's going on in their life. And this woman wanted to share with me the crud. But you remember, as I said before, it wasn't her fault, it was my fault, because I asked the wrong question. So instead of allowing people the opportunity to share with me all the crud that's going on in their life, I have a very simple phrase that I throw out, and that very simple phrase is this. Tell me something good. I will walk right up to somebody I see every single day. I will throw my hand out and say, tell me something good. And you would be amazed how that one simple phrase can change the culture of an entire organization. You would be amazed how that one simple phrase can change the culture of that conversation, because you get people focused on what's working well in their life instead of what's working against them. But it's amazing to me how many people can't even think of one good thing that's happening in their life. I was speaking at a conference down in, I think it was in Miami. I believe it was in Miami. It was here in Florida, and it was a giant audience. It was very similar to this, but their room, they had one main aisle going down the center. And everybody was having to go in and out that main aisle. They had some over to the sides, but everybody was encouraged to go down the middle aisle. Well, I'm standing up there on the stage, and about that time, I was making this point, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get off the stage. I'm going to go down the front row, and I'm going to ask somebody to tell me something good. I had a handheld mic in my hand. So I got down off the stage, I ran out into the front row, and there was a lady sitting right on the corner, and this lady right here is going, oh, please, don't. This lady was right there on the corner, and I went walking up to her with this microphone, and I looked her dead in the eye and said, tell me something good, and I threw the microphone in her face, and she went, whoo. Woo! Woo! Started making some odd noises. I don't even know what that was about. But she said, can I have a moment? I said, a moment for what? She said, I'm not prepared. I said, prepared for what? She said, prepared to speak. I said, you don't have to speak, just tell me something good. She said, I can't think of anything. I said, I'm going to be on this stage for an hour. I will be back. So I went back up. I got on the stage. I continued the program. After the program was over, several people came up to the stage to share a story or to sign a book or do some things like that. So I'm standing there doing this, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that lady. Where'd she? And I looked over, and she was gone. And I looked at this group of people, and I said, that lady that was in the seat, she's gone. And I said, where'd she go? And I looked down the stairs. I couldn't see her, but I could see her shoulders. And she was going like this, all the way down that aisle, trying to get through that crowd to get back. I said, that lady is trying to get away from me. Oh, no, she's not. I couldn't go that way, but I'll go this way. So I ran that way. I ran down the side of the room. I ran to the back, and I slid in front of the door just as she got there, and I went, whoo, 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 whoo. I said, did you think of something? She said, I need a few more minutes. It is amazing to me that there are people in this world, when you ask them to tell you something good, they can't think of one good thing. It is even more amazing to me that there are people in this world who are like that, who can't think of one good thing when they've been given an hour. And it is even more amazing to me that there are people in the world who are like that, who would be dumb enough to sit in the front row. I mean, there's some of you out there who don't want to participate, but you're not up here either, are you? You're like, no. 7,000 people here. He's not going to come pick on me in the back. Amazing to me how some people just can't think of one good thing that's happening in their life.